being here. Thank you, God. May I be your mouth today and express and reveal to you watching right now. Thank you for being here. May I reveal to you the secrets of nutrition. In this video, you're going to understand exactly how to have the highest level of nutrition that most people have no idea about. They're unaware. There are 6 classes of nutrients. And when you understand this, your nutrition will skyrocket, which means your productivity will increase. Your body fat will decrease. Your blood pressure will normalize. I should say your body fat levels will normalize. Right? If you're overweight, like 76% of America, you'll drop weight. Once you understand and practice this. So take notes, because this is the keys to nutrition. It's going to be short and sweet. So listen up, grab your notepad and your pen. 6 classes of nutrient. What are they? Throw it in the comments. We have 6 classes of nutrients. What are they? Number 1, what can you not live without for 3 days? Water. Number 2, what if you ate food that's highly refined and processed? What are you removing out of it? Vitamins and minerals. That's why we have such poor nutrition levels, productivity, inability to think, sleep, even contract the muscles, because we're not getting the right ratio or amounts of vitamins and minerals. So those are the 3 non-calorie containing nutrients: water, vitamins, minerals. So simple. I'm going to go into more detail about this on the whiteboard in a moment. I just wanted to go live so I could see if anyone needs help with Q&A or anything like that. When I get this live feedback of Q&A, then I can incorporate it into my recorded video. But I've been doing this for 27 years. I have a doctorate in nutrition, a master's in nutrition. So I've heard an abundant amount of questions. And I know that this basic foundation of nutrition is what most people need. Now, the 3 calorie containing nutrients are carbohydrate, fat, and protein. And the thing about that is most of us have it all jangled up. And that's why our energy is jangled up. That's why we have low energy or ability to process the fuel or food that we're eating. Upset stomach, like I had for the first 2 decades of my life, sick all the time, because we do not have the proper ratio of carb, fat, protein. And there's such a big hype about eating more and more protein right now. Yet you want to look like a bodybuilder? Not many people want to look like a bodybuilder, yet they eat like one. Meaning forcing protein in, protein shakes, refined protein. If you'd like to gain mass, that might be slightly helpful. Not just muscle, but mass, like get bigger. So many people don't want to get bigger, and they're still having these protein shakes or high amounts of protein. And it really could hurt the stomach. And it could create a bacteria or community or colony of bacteria that has you craving more of that and not enough good, healthy, good foods to create good bacteria in your stomach. And it's not just about the probiotics, the bacteria, it's about the prebiotics, which is really fiber that creates an environment where the bacteria can thrive in your body. Thrive in your body. And most people, the good bacteria in their stomach can't even survive, and they wonder why they constantly have cravings. Do you have cravings for sugars and sweets and ice cream and candy and cakes it's not just cultural, it's not just your mind, it's not just your lack of willpower, it's also the bacteria in your gut that is craving that food itself, because you've created a monster, many millions of monsters in your gut. And you could change it all by increasing the fruits and vegetables or fiber that you eat, because fruits and vegetables are probably the best source of fiber that you could ever eat. Arguably, like, they are the best source of fiber. And there's no fiber, virtually no fiber. There's no fiber in any animal products. Meat, cheese, eggs, there's no fiber in that. And there's virtually no fiber in processed packaged food. Some of them may add fiber in. Some processed packaged food may have better ingredients than others, but there is none that compare to fruits and vegetables, because fruits and vegetables also have a great abundant source of water, which again is, you can't live 3 days without water. So eat your water, not just drink it, but eat it also with an abundant source of fiber. Fruits, vegetables. Every textbook says on nutrition is the number one source for energy. I like to call it fuel, because energy is really created in our mind, not our body, but we process fuel. The number one source of fuel, again, textbooks will say energy. The number one source of fuel for your body is carbohydrate. And so many people are eliminating that from their diet to try and drop weight. And of course it works, because if you remove any food group or nutrient group from the diet, you will end up dropping weight just because you're eating less. But it's not so sustainable, and it's certainly not so healthy. The word is out, like the perfect. Oh, we're still on live, huh? My phone overheated. Thank you so much, Casey. I don't know if y'all are still on following me. My phone overheated. Also super low on battery. But I'm going to finish up here because I kept y'all hanging. But I will make a longer form video on this that is recorded professionally. I'm standing still and have the whiteboard so you could help to get it etched in your mind. But write this down. Write it down, make it happen. You could write it in the comments, yet optimally write it down on a piece of paper on your notebook. Also, 6 essential nutrients: carbohydrate, protein, fat, vitamins, minerals, water. Now, knowing that is one thing, but understanding the proper ratio. Again, we're just talking about carbohydrates. It's over 50% of your diet should be carbohydrate. How do we know how much minerals and vitamins to eat? Because we have a certain amount the FDA has disclosed, because we have study after study after study. And we need a certain percentage of the recommended dietary allowance, or a certain amount. Like vitamin C, we need about 90 milligrams. It could be as low as 60. And a lot of nutritionists say, including myself, to have 1 gram of vitamin C a day, 1,000 milligrams. How do we get that naturally through food? Really simple. If you have 10 fruits and vegetables every day, which is the recommended amount, you're going to get that much vitamin C in daily. Super simple. You can get an abundant amount of fiber. You're going to get that 50% or more of carbohydrate that you need, so that you have the fuel so that you could function and have a high level of fitness. Many people don't want to or hate to exercise because they're not processing the proper fuel. It's like putting diesel in a car and wondering why it's breaking down constantly. Well, it's pretty simple, because you're not putting the proper fuel in. So put the proper fuel in your engine. Have more carbohydrate, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, beans. And you could have a much smaller amount of nuts and seeds, meat, cheese, eggs, and all forms of dairy. Why? Because you need about 12% protein and about over 50% carbohydrate. There are virtually no carbohydrates in animal products except for lactose in dairy. And many people are lactose intolerant. Vernaise, hello, blessed love. What are the 6 classes of nutrients? Are you following me? Are you receiving what I'm giving? Because when you understand this, your nutrition and your productivity, your energy, your ability to process the fuel in your body, how you feel, will be so outstanding. Your love for life, like this is associated with depression, anxiety, what goes into our body, even addiction. In AA, he wanted to include a B vitamin because he noticed that alcoholics drain their B vitamins. The first B vitamin that we found was the first vitamin that we actually found, B1, and people would literally fall on the floor because they were so weak just from refining grains. And we found the thiamine or B1 in the what we were throwing out from refining the grain, the bran and the hull and the germ. We're just throwing that out. We polished rice and we threw out the polishings, fed chickens, and and then the chickens got better from this disease beriberi, which means I can't. It's extreme nerve disorder. Oh my Lord, it's so amazing. So carbohydrate number 1, dairy, very small amount. A lot of people, 80% of people cannot process milk because they are lactose, like they don't tolerate it. Beyond lactose intolerant, like we lose the enzyme lactase, which helps digest lactose and milk in adolescence. There are some cultures that have a genetic disposition where they actually altered their genes so they could have more milk because that was their survival food. And you know what those cultures did on top of drinking milk and still do? They drank the blood of the animal. That grosses us out, but we culturally accept drinking milk. I'm not here to demonize any food at all. It's just understand. I'd rather add foods in and then take away foods so you could replace them. It's kind of like kicking a bad habit. When you kick a habit of smoking, you might want to drink tea or do something with your hands because you have this hand fetish. Hand to mouth action, right? So the majority of your diet should be carbohydrates. Where do we find carbohydrates? Vernice, anyone here? Where do we find carbohydrates? So if I eat healthy 5 days in the week, is it good? That's a very broad statement. Everything's good. We have good, better, best. Depends where you want to be. Depends what your goal is. If you have 5 days of I'm just going to theoreticize this. If you have 5 days of eating optimal nutrition and then you have 2 days of just eating highly processed foods, packaged foods, what if you just smoked just on the weekends and drank or did heroin, right? I know it's an extreme comparison, yet one day we will look back on today and understand that what we do is just like smoking because doctors used to recommend cigarettes. And now it's commonly understood how much danger it was to actually have that, smoking. We know that it's not good for us. And soon we will understand. One of my teachers, he said, we'll put a Surgeon General warning on a couch, just like we do cigarettes, because being inactive increases your risk of heart disease by over 10-fold. That's just like smoking a pack of cigarettes a day. And we will find out that nutrition is similar. We need a very small amount of fat. We need an even smaller amount of protein. And this is where a big misconception comes in, that we think we need so much protein. We're eating like bodybuilders, even though we don't wish to look like a bodybuilder, by consuming enormous amounts of protein when most Americans and most people throughout the world have more than enough protein. As a matter of fact, protein deficiency is almost unheard of. The only time we have protein deficiency is when we're not getting enough calories. If you get enough calories and you don't have so much processed refined food, if you have whole foods, you have enough protein when you have enough calories. Now, I still working with people, I would still go over what they're eating on a software program like Chronometer or FitDay and look at exactly what they're eating. We don't need to monitor and measure every last drop every single day, yet getting a snapshot maybe once a week for a few months will help create that awareness. It's like spending. You create an awareness of how much you're spending. You have a orientation or an average and awareness of how much you're spending, and you know not to overspend. If you have no awareness, you may be overspending and get yourself into a deep hole of debt. We don't want to be in a deep hole of lack of nutrition. And I think I'm going to leave it at that. If you have any questions about nutrition, feel free to ask right now. Before I go, I'm going to make a longer form video of this, and I'll post it up today on this page. So subscribe so you get reminded. I come on live almost every day, at least for this 30-day challenge that I'm doing. It's also challenging myself, but I also want to give to the people because I've seen myself get sick, my friends get sick, my family gets sick. The majority of America is super sick right now. I'm amazed that we're walking and talking the way we do when we have so little of nutrition and activity and fitness in our lives. My father had a heart attack when I was 9 years old on the way to an amusement center, and we ended up in the hospital. So I'd love to share this wealth and abundance with you. I also offer a more personalized space. You could go to yourlasttrainer.com, yourlasttrainer.com. Can I add that in here? I think I could. Let's see. Someone write it in for me. Chat filter. Yeah, I don't know if I could write it in. Write in yourlasttrainer.com in the comments. And you could go there and check it out. You could join me for a Zoom and get more personalized information. I could see you. We could work out together. I could go over any issues you may have. If you'd like to join the 30-day challenge, go over to my Facebook page right now. Before you forget, Dr. Keith J. Lopez, friend me up or follow me. And I'm live for 30 days with this 10 at 10 challenge, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to do 10 minutes of movement, 10 minutes of mindset, and nutrition. Today we covered nutrition. I'm reiterating that here for everyone because this, oh man, it saved my life. Saved me from depression and anxiety, not just being overweight and sick and inactive. Depression and anxiety. Be happy, man. Be happy, right? To let go of addictions and what is not serving you. So thank you. You are absolutely amazing. It doesn't look like we have any questions here. I appreciate the thumbs up, the comments, appreciate the attention you're giving me by watching this. If you're watching the replay, thank you so much. If you're watching live, thank you so much. You're amazing. I will be on here again around 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. I say around because it's supposed to be 10:20, but sometimes I go over on the Facebook Live challenge, so it might be about 10:30. Check for it, 10:20. Easiest way is hit that subscribe button and you'll get notified once I'm live. I believe you get notified just being on YouTube. You could let me know, and you definitely get notified, I believe, by email. And you could always, stop those things if you want. Thank you so much. You're amazing. You're wonderful. You are a walking miracle. When you believe, you achieve and receive. So believe in yourself. Appreciate yourself. Use your imagination. These are our greatest superpowers: appreciation and imagination and expectation. Expect for your life to be great instead of thinking that everything is so hard and challenging and not going your way. Einstein said the most important question you could ask yourself, drum roll please, is do you see this world as a hostile world or a friendly world? Can't stand when my glasses are crooked. Which way do you see it? I see it as a friendly world. You are my friend, and thank you so much for being here. Keep in touch, comment, like, subscribe. Subscribe to more people that uplift you. Change your algorithm. Create an environment where you can thrive because you are the average of the top people that you are around most. You're going to have a similar body fat as the people you are around most, similar intellect, similar emotional poise or EQ, emotional quotient. You're going to have a similar productivity, similar income as the top people you spend the most time with. Thank you so much. May you be blessed by the greatest.